for another episode of Throwback Thursday, the Throwback Thursday video that should have been posted back on April 16th. So, kind of fell behind a little bit, and so I just got done doing my Thursday video that was from the week before. So, life's been a little crazy, and I do work a regular 40-hour a week job. So sometimes, after a work day, you kind of, you know, by the time the end of the day comes, you're kind of like, you're done. You kind of shut down a little bit. And of course, that whole mojo thing, it just kind of gets up and goes, right? So, but this past weekend, this is Sunday, April 19th, in which I am recording this and will be posting as soon as I am done with it. For this one, I am using an individual stamp set called Ridiculously Awesome. It's basically, for the most part, a greeting stamp set with some different types of fonts. You do have like a star and a heart, and then like these little rays. So you probably use that in with the "You Are My Sunshine" greeting. So this is $1 million achiever stamp set, and basically what that means, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who reach that $1 million mark in sales, which there's a whole disclaimer that, like less than 1% of all the demonstrators achieve that. But one of the perks when you do is that you get to create a stamp set. You get to sit down. Let me move this up just a little bit because I see it kind of focusing in and out. You get to sit down with the artists that create the stamp sets, and based on like what your theme would be, what you would like to see in your stamp set, you sit down with them and you design it. So this one was designed by Rhonda Wade. So again, you see that it's basically, just some greetings in here with some different fonts, and it did not come with any dies, so it's just a standalone stamp set. So this is what we're going to use, and this one is also a red rubber cling stamp set. The red rubber stamps, they are being discontinued, and going forward everything's going to be photopolymer stamps. So for this one, I am like everything that I am using on here. A lot of the products are retired, and so I'm using the same pack of paper for both of my projects. I am using these were in colors that we had a few years ago, so there were embellishments that were in those in those colors on it. So kind of like sticking with the same the same products. So there's not a whole lot of products between the two cards. So for my card, based on my first card, this is Bumblebee. And this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white that measures 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I have a piece of Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. And let me show you that paper. Maybe it's familiar, but it has all of the in colors that came out, that, was it, the 2020 to 2022. So what is it? There's Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. Those were the 5 in colors. And then in addition, there's Poppy Parade. And to see how old it is, Whisper White. We haven't had Whisper White in a while. Whisper White actually kind of became basic white. So a lot of like floral images in all those in colors. So I used that paper for both of the projects. Then out of a scrap piece of basic white, uh, for the last what do you call the Thursday video that I just did, that was for the week before. I had used the Stitch So Sweetly set of dies, and I thought, well, let's just bring them in and let's use them for these projects as well. So because this is a red rubber stamp set and I wanted to have my greeting kind of centered, I stamped my greeting using cinnamon cider ink, and then I used one of those Stitch So Sweetly dies to die cut it. So let's fold and burnish our card base. And actually I had pulled out this particular color cardstock last night when I did my Saturday Night Live. Uh, we have a new in color that's going to be available for everybody May 5th. Demonstrators get to pre-order early, and one of our new in colors is called Golden Glow. And I had somebody ask, kind of like, what is the difference between that color and Hello Honey, which used to be another in color. So actually, I brought out Bumblebee, which is this color, and Hello Honey, and compared it to the Golden Glow, the new color that's coming out. And the Golden Glow is a little more on the a brownish gold side, but pretty colors. And I would say that Hello Honey and Bumblebee were fairly close. So nice warm colored yellows. So I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere it to my piece of basic white. And there's just going to be this little white border all the way around. And then I'm going to bring in, this is the Bumblebee Gingham ribbon. So it's 1/4 of an inch wide. I'm going to take a piece of this, if I can get the pin out. Get that little pin out of there. Let me get some Scotch tape. So I'm going to cut a piece, kind of like long enough so I can wrap this around and then tape it down. Okay, my tape. And we will wrap this around. So again, as a Sunday, I am like catching up to get everything caught up, because then I still have to work on the stuff that's gonna happen for next week. So next week, yeah, there'll be a Throwback Thursday, and my goal is to have that done and have that posted. So come first thing Tuesday, Thursday morning, you will see that out there on my channel. Then also, I just want to make sure that's straight. Instead of a Friday Night Live, I'm going to be doing a Saturday Night Live, and I'm going to have a guest stamper that evening. A friend is coming into town. We're celebrating birthdays, and yeah, we did this last year, and she was a guest stamper, so we're going to do that again this year. Okay, so I have taken my ribbon, I have taped that across the middle of my panel here. Now I want to make sure my flowers are going in the right direction before I go and take this and adhere it down to my card base. I'm going to add some adhesive. Make sure I kind of get that ribbon. And then I'm going to place that down again, make sure the flowers are going in the right direction. And I will center that like so. So there's a little bit of that cinnamon cider there in the center of those flowers. So even your card base or that little panel could be cinnamon cider as well. All right. Then I'm going to take my panel here, and you can tell that I kind of messed up a little bit, so I had to restamp it. So there's two sides of cardstock, so we're going to utilize that. We're not going to waste. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. Now, because I have that ribbon going through kind of like the middle of this, I'm just going to place my dimensionals on the top and bottom. And let's take our backings off. Okay, get our tape out of the way, move that. And then I'm going to center this like so. Hopefully we're straight. We look straight. Okay. There's some little straggly little threads of the when you die cut. All right, so now I'm going to take my bring my ribbon back in, and now we're going to tie a bow over on this end. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Oops. Just get it lifted enough so I can get my ribbon under there. And then we're going to tie a bow. So the other option too is that you can take a piece, you can tie a bow and then adhere it down with a glue dot, or you can do it this way too. So do our bow. See if I can do this with the camera rolling. It's easy peasy when you're not filming, but when you're filming, you know, things always happen. So let's see if we can do this and make it look good. I'm going to kind of pull my tails. I think that looks pretty darn good, if I should say so myself. All right, so now let me get my scissors and trim my tails like so. Okay, let's get the ribbon out of the way. Actually, let me roll this up and then put my little pin in there just so it doesn't unravel all over the place. Okay, and then for my embellishments on this, I'm going to use the 2020 to 2022 ink color enamel dots. Again, Bumblebee, Cinnamon, Cider, Misty, Moonlight, which is now one of our core colors, so it came back. Just Jade, and this is Magenta Madness, so our fluorescent pink color. So we're going to use, let's see, let me get my take your pick tool. And of course, we're going to stick with our Bumblebee color. So I'm going to use the spatula part of my take your pick tool, and I'm going to add 3 of these onto my Stitch So Sweetly die. Okay, I have one there, then we need one more. And we'll add this one right down there. And then we're going to use these again, so I'm just going to take these and I'm going to just set those aside. And there we go. There is our first card. So a very simple layout, and just utilizing the colors that are in that designer series paper. Again, the color is Bumblebee. All right, so the second card, we're sticking with the same colors. So for this one, we have, for our card base, we have a piece of Misty Moonlight, so 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic white that measures 5 1/4 by 4. Added the Stitch So Sweetly set of dies. One of the dies, I die cut a piece of Bumblebee. And then on this piece of basic white, I stamped Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fear in Just Jade ink. And then I had die cut it. And this is going to layer right into our Bumblebee piece nicely right there. And then from the same designer series paper, I have cut 3 strips. So each one of these measures 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. So I got 2 strips that are with the Misty Moonlight and the spots. And then I have this one here that has the spots in the background, but then it also has some sunflowers and some daisies in it. So I'm going to start by folding and burnishing my card base. Okay, and I'll set that aside. Then I'm going to bring in my piece of basic white. I am going to, let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. When you're adhering designer series paper where you're going to line it up on your cardstock, the best bet is always using liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of extra time to kind of shift these pieces into place. Whereas if you use uh, the Stampin' Seal, that thing sticks really, really well, and you don't want to be tearing up your paper or crinkling it when it doesn't line up the way you want it to. So I'm going to take these strips, the 2 pieces of the Misty Moonlight, and I am going to line it up from top to bottom and right along that edge. Press that down. I'll get the other one. Now, whenever you're putting down strips and you want a space in between them, the best way to get it to where you have an even amount of spaces, put down the outer pieces first and then put your center piece in. It's a lot easier to line it all up and get that equal amount of distance in between each of the pieces. So let me put this down on the other side. Line that all up. And again, liquid glue is going to give you that chance to get it all lined up in place before you press it down. So we got that like so. All right, and then we're going to take our piece that has our sunflowers and our daisies, add some glue. And this is the Tombow multi-purpose glue that we sell. I just like putting it in a fine tip glue bottle because you really don't need a lot for this to stick down. This glue does have a latex in it, so you don't need a lot. Let's see, that looks about right. Just press that down now. Okay, and then I'm going to take this whole piece and I'm going to adhere this down to my card base. Like so. And we got it in the right direction, which is good. Whenever you have like a pattern that's directional, you always have to be mindful when you put it down on your card base that you don't like put it on when it's upside down. I've done that before. Okay, so now I'm going to take my stamped basic white Stitch So Sweetly piece. I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of this. And then I'm going to center this right onto my piece of Bumblebee. So these dies, they do layer. I think we're good there. So let me press that down. And again, the greeting is stamped in Just Jade ink. Okay, so then I'm going to also bring in, this is Just Jade 2020 to 2022 in color ribbon. So each of the colors came in this ribbon. So it's a nice, the ribbon ties very nicely. There's kind of like this subtle like chevron pattern that's in it. So what I want to do here is I'm going to do a little bit of like a zigzag thing behind my greeting piece. So this is going to lay here in the center. but I want my ribbon to kind of poke out from behind it. So what I'm going to do is let me take this piece and see where my middle is. I'm going to add some adhesive, and then I'm going to bring in my ribbon, and I want to see how this is all going to lay because I don't want a whole lot of ribbon. So kind of bring this down. I'm just going to do like a little bit of like a zigzag. Okay, and then let me get my piece here. Okay, that looks good. So then I'm going to take my scissors and we'll trim the ribbon like so. We'll get that out of the way. We'll press that down, and then we'll close up the glue because we don't need this anymore. Then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. We'll add that to the back of this panel here. And then we'll add one more right here in the middle because we don't want like saggy bits on our card. So use those dimensionals, and remember that the edge pieces of your sheet of dimensionals are just as good as these little hexagon pieces that are on that sheet. All right, so then I'm going to take this, I'm going to place this right here in the middle like so. And then for my embellishments, I'm going to bring in these 2020 to 2022 in color enamel dots. Hard to believe, 2020 to 2022. Wow, time has flown. I will say that. All right, so on this one, I'm actually going to use some Just Jade, and I have some Just Jade on this sheet here. So basically, I'm just sticking with the colors that are in the designer series paper. And so using a little bit of each of these colors. Add another one right there. And then we got one more. One more. Okay, we'll put that aside. And we'll put this one right there. Okay, so there is my second card. So this one using Misty Moonlight, which is now one of our core colors, Bumblebee, and some Just Jade. And then my first card, we really stuck with that Bumblebee, and it just seemed fitting with that greeting, "You are my sunshine." So here are my Throwback Thursday projects using the ridiculously awesome stamp set. This is my Throwback Thursday for April 16th. So just this past Thursday, filming this on Sunday the 19th. So thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and watch. If you like the projects, please give the video a thumbs up. I have lots of video content out there. If you like the projects that I have created, hit the, be sure to subscribe, and then also hit that notification bell. That will let you know when I have posted a new video and also when I go live. And I have quite a bit out there. So there's definitely probably about like 360 videos, I think, that I have out there, probably more. So again, covering a lot of stuff that's retired and also what's current at the time. So what's coming up? So in the description, I do have a couple of links that are in there. So we still, Stampin' Up! Does product of the month. We no longer do celebration. So when you place an order of $75 or more, this is after you've applied like any Stampin' Rewards, and then before any tax and shipping is added to it. You can choose the product of the month. For this month, it is a die. It's called Eyelet. what is it called? It's Eyelet something. um, Eyelet Blooms dye, so it's a whole like background type of dye. Then we also have still available from March the Notes of, it's the Notes of Spring. Yeah, the Notes of Spring stamp set. And then from February, the Painted Illusions 12 by 12 designer series paper, those items are still available. So the product of the month is limited to one per customer. So if you haven't gotten either one of those, you can still get it even though the month is past. It's basically while supplies last. We have our last chance list that was updated earlier this month. So if there, things have retired, so some things are marked down, you'll find that stuff out there. Also, we have the catalogs have changed. We don't so much have an annual catalog anymore, along with two like mini publications. Now we're just going to have a catalog that goes for 4 months. So there's 3 catalogs per year. We have the new August catalog, and not only has some like new product in there, like sweets and bundles and such, but it also has a lot of your supply items like your cardstock and your inks and your markers, and all that kind of stuff is in that catalog as well. If you would like a copy of that, if you are here in the US and you're not working with another demonstrator, my email is in the description. Just simply send me an email, your full name along with your mailing address, and I'll be more than happy to mail one out to you. Also, I do have a monthly newsletter. I typically send it out near the beginning of the month. So, in there, my whole video schedule for the month is on there. Anything that I may be doing here in the studio, anything that Stampin' Up is doing promotion wise, or things that are available. Also, the upcoming Paper Pumpkin kit. Now, Paper Pumpkin is not just limited to North America, the US, and Canada. It is now in all of our markets. So there's information about that if you would like to subscribe to that. And then also every month Stampin' Up comes out with 2 or 3 new kits in their kits collection. So there's pictures and descriptions and all that of that. So if you would like to receive that, there is a link in the description for that as well. Now, do know I want to let you know that typically I only do one a month. The only time I may do another one, another modified one, would be if Stampin' Up! Has some kind of promotion. So, for example, in April, I sent it out near the beginning of the month, but then last week they announced that there was the 2 times the Stampin' Rewards promotion that went the 15th through the 17th. So then I sent out another email that was kind of modified to really showcase that promotion that was going on. Other than that, I do not send them every day. I do not send them every week. So again, if you would like to receive it, it is there in the description. Um, and also the list of supplies that I use. Now, a lot of things, like I said, are retired, but there are some other things that I did use that are not retired. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. And I should be good this week, where for this coming Thursday, let's see, what am I using? I will be using the Beautiful Moments stamp set. This is another stamp set that was designed by a $1 Million Achiever. This one was by Jackie Williams from New Zealand. So this is what I'm going to be working on for this coming week. And again, my Friday Night Live is not going to be a Friday Night Live. I'm actually going to go live on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Central. A friend is coming into town, and she's going to be my guest stamper that night, and we're going to be using the scalloped wishes. She loves dragonflies, and there just happens to be a cute little dragonfly stamp in here. Plus, there's also one that you can build with the dies as well. So she's going to be working with this one. So looking forward to that. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. There, I do have my paper pumpkin kit, Lakeside Retreat, I believe is the name of it. That's the one for the month of April. My plan is to try and get that one posted today as well to kind of get that done. So, yeah, trying to just play catch up today. So, again, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed one. Bye bye.